All right, guys, I'm having some minor, very minor technical difficulties here, but we're about to get this straightened out. Just a couple of adjustments to make, and then we'll be back at some minor adjustments I got to make in the streaming software and good to go. So I apologize, but it happened after I hit the go live. So yeah. All right, I think that'll so we get rid of the keyboard now. All right, so we will need mouse though. Hi, Patty. Hey, guess what though? It's not yet. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Deanne. Hi, Pam. So I have not done a live in forever due to my work schedule. The work schedule has changed. So you guys probably be seeing a lot more of me. Hey, William, what's up? Yeah, we're hanging in there. Jeanette's at work for about another hour. Then she'll be home. I don't know if we'll still be live when she gets here or not. Probably not. Hi, Stace. So for Deanne and Stacy, I did not go rogue. I did stick with what was picked out best for me. Hi, Francine. Hi, Linda. Glad to see everybody. If you all would be so kind to sprinkle me out, that way I don't have to do it. I already had a couple of minor technical issues we had to fix that have time literally as I hit the go live button. So I think I got everything straightened out. So tonight we're going to do a pancake pixie, 8-inch solid frame, 3 ties on the outside, 3 ties on the inside for a total of 6. Double check my math here. Uh, Ribbon tail is going to be 12 inches, more than likely on the outside. And then the fish that was chosen for tonight, this green natural, I'm not the technical term for it. And then we also got this red and white, red and black buffalo plaid fabric fish that we're going to be using. Ribbon tails are going to be just a solid red and a rickrack green and natural. And then our sign, make sure I don't get any more super glue on me today. That was a bad time. So our sign is going to be this cute little Merry Christmas. Try to get the glare off of it. Ain't cooperating. Cute little Merry Christmas cardinal wreath with a big red bow on the top of it. So that's going to be our sign for tonight. Hi, Pat. Hi, Sam. Um, when I first decided to do the pancake pixie, I had not seen anybody else do it. I've still not seen anybody else do it on a live. There is one of our followers that does them. So we were kind of one of those great minds think alike things. They're really inexpensive to make because you don't use a whole lot of material. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and switch the camera down and hope I don't have to readjust it as well. Jeanette's a lot shorter than me, so when I'm getting the live set up, I had to turn the front facing camera up about 6 to 8 inches. So if I can figure out what I'm doing here. Oh my goodness. All right, so we're going to switch the cameras over to the side top view. And then we're going to get started. So like I said, we've got a 8-inch Dollar Tree frame with 6 ties on it. And I have decided that we're going to do the green natural on the outside because of the way the tails are going to go. So we're just going to do a regular ruffle on this. Well, Floyd's going to try. I was making fun of Jeanette one night here a couple nights ago because she kept making all these little mistakes because she hadn't been making wreaths for a while. Well, let's see if I do any better. Getting off center here. That's not off to a good start. All right. And then you want to take and overlap the ends, and you want to try to keep the mesh turned down. Now, I don't know what it is with the way I do my ruffle, but it does not like to stay turned down. But we'll get it back in place once we get. Hi, Reba. All right, so now that we've got this tied in, let's go back around and fix the mesh and try to keep it. Because keeping the edges turned down is what keeps it fairly flat. I've determined it's just something I do, the way I do my ruffles, that it doesn't stay turned down. But we'll be all right. So these do not take very long to make. I haven't been live and made a wreath in a while, so I wanted to allow myself plenty of time. So I went ahead and prepped everything. I did not make my bow, so we will be making that after we get the wreath done. And normally when I do a live, I don't prep any of my stuff before I go live. But anticipating any issues that I may have because it's been a while, I just decided to go ahead and get everything cut tonight. So the way I do my pancake pixies, I use 2 different meshes, of course. And then I just use, because there's really no good way to alternate them because of the odd number both on the inside and the outside. So I just do one color on the outside and then the other color on top. I have a funny feeling I'm going to struggle with this because the inside ties are kind of hard to get to at this point. But we'll be okay. Go back, look at the screen, make sure I didn't miss any questions. Looks like we're good. So normally when Jeanette goes live, I'm here to help her. Well, now that my schedule's changed, I will be. But I only usually go live when Jeanette's not here, so I don't get any help. Hi, Kathy. Welcome. Yes, absolutely. Our last public live. Um, I mean, I knew I was going to have to make the live tonight, so I decided I was going to make a pancake pixie, and we're working. So, like I said, it's 6 ties on a Dollar Tree 8-inch frame, 3 on the inside, 3 on the outside. Standard ruffle method. The only thing is you really need to try to overlap the ends of your ruffle, and you got to try to get them to turn down. I gotta fix my my inside ties are getting all out of control here, so get them back in control before we put the ribbon tails in. So one of the issues with the pancake is you need to put your ribbon tails on the outside before you do the top or the inside mesh, because once you do that, you really can't get to the outside ties anymore. So we're going to go ahead and put our ribbon tails in before we add the buffalo check mesh. So we've got the green and the natural mesh, ruffled it in, and then I use two 1.5-inch ribbons, cut to 12 inches and dovetailed. Oh, good question, Deanne. No, we actually cut the mesh to 25 inches for this. It had been a while since I did a pixie pancake, and me and Jeanette were talking about how long the mesh should be. We picked 25. That way, there's plenty of mesh to so you can't see through it quite so easy. And then I just see my ribbon tails. I don't do anything too crazy with it. And I am going to trim as we go along. Go ahead and tuck the ends over. Hi, Dawn. I like to leave like 1/4 of an inch, just in case you realize that you did something wrong. You need to go back in and fix it. You can still get a hold of them to fix. So yes, the mesh is cut at 25, and then the ribbon tails are cut at 12. And then on a pancake pixie, I don't normally put any ribbon tails on the inside. Um, with the bow and an 8-inch sign, you're really not going to miss them, to be honest with you. So we'll get these. What in the world's going on with that ribbon? Ooh, that's a hot mess. Yeah, we can fix all that later. All right, go. Snag the fabric. All right, one more set of ribbon tails to put in here. And then we'll, and this is the only part that I struggle with on these is getting inside mesh in. It's Dawn, it's just an 8-inch Dollar Tree frame. Just a standard, nothing special. Oh, that one was bad. All right, so done with those. Fold those little tabs over, the ends over a little bit so nobody gets poked. All right, so here's what we have so far. Doesn't look like a whole lot, I know, but we'll get there. So we've got our green and natural mesh cut at 25 and ruffled in the two 1.5-inch ribbon dovetailed, V'd out on the outside. Now we're going to put the red and black buffalo check fabric mesh on the inside. And this is where it gets just a little bit tricky. I'm going to go ahead and pull these ties back out now, and then we'll have to fiddle with the mesh and everything after we get these three top ones back on. They don't It always just gives me fits, but we'll get through it. And then same thing on the fabric mesh. We're just gonna do a ruffle. Pull some loose strings off of it here. And when I do this, I just hold this under like an inch or so. Doesn't have to be perfect, just enough to keep that raw edge tucked under to hide any fraying that might be going on. And I should have put something on that because it's not wanting to lay. We'll be okay. All right. And then we're just going to put this right on top and try to finagle those pipe cleaners up through there. And then pull them tight, and then we'll fix the mesh. Now, unlike the other ones, at this point I am not going to cut the pipe cleaners just yet. You see already we're going to have to readjust the. Apparently, I need to work on my ruffling because ideally these ruffles stay turned down. But I mean, still, it's not that thick. But I'll have to ask the boss when she gets home what to do about that. My ruffles just don't like to stay turned under. All right, we're gonna put something on it this time to keep it straight. Kind of lost the grip on that. All right, now it's gonna go right down in here. We're gonna tie that one. Well, I tell you what, that mesh for being fabric, it's not being very cooperative tonight with the no frame. Like I said, we can go back and fix the ribbon tails, whatnot. Okay, we've all got the last piece of mesh here. Then we still have to put the sign in and make a bow. And I can tell by looking at it, we're gonna have to do some fiddling with the mesh to try to get the lay a little flatter. All right, get this one right down in here. And we'll see if we can Get this meshed away a little better. Yeah, that's not too bad. We need to pull these tails in a little bit more though, because all right, that ain't laying too awful bad. It well, it wasn't laying bad though. I messed with it right there. Now that chunk wants to pop up. All right, we'll fix it. I don't know what in the world's going on with this fabric mat that Jeanette bought because this stuff ain't it's not working like it's supposed to. All right, guys, we'll probably wind up having to mess with this a little bit more, but I think we're going to go ahead and get the sign on and get the bow made. So they're relatively small. They are this one is tip to tip, 16, 17 inches thickness, and this one's going like 5 inches thick. The bow on it, but not too bad, not too bad. All right, so now we are going to go ahead now and cut these pipe cleaners off. But I am not going to be adding ribbon tails to the inside. So I have to take these and roll them over just a little bit. All right, so I think I'm going to go ahead and put the sign on it first. Um, like I said, we're going to use this Merry Christmas cardinal wreath. How I make mine is two cable mounts, one at the top and at the bottom, with a little bit of that wrap a few super glue on there. And I'll take a couple pipe cleaners and put them on there. Oh, thank you, Stacy. Yeah, we had a bunch of signs already pressed that Jeanette had wanted for other projects, and she's like, "You want to just use one of the signs that we've got, in the stash in here?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, we'll go ahead and use them up." And this is the one she laid out. I'm like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do that one." It was one of my favorite signs as well. All right, I normally just put my signs at about between 3 and 4 o'clock, so I don't see why today would be any exception. So the nice thing, till you let your sign get away from me, about doing the pancake pixies, well, the other nice thing is the mesh is thin enough that you can feed your pipe cleaners for your bow and your mesh or your bow and your sign right down through there, even if you double it up like I did. we'll get this all tied on. All right. And then we're going to take this one right about here. Make sure it's good over on the wreath so it doesn't go too far to the edge. And we'll just wrap it around the frame a couple of times and tidy it up a little bit so it doesn't look too bad. All right. Nice and secure. A little higher up than I probably would normally do, but not too bad. So we're gonna aim for the bow being right here. Okay, so we're gonna do a Floyd bow. Jeanette doesn't care for them, but that's what I do. I make Floyd bows. Oh, we're missing some tails over here. There we go. Make sure the ribbon's peeking out from the sign. All right, so we're going to set this aside so we get the bow made. I'm going to need a pipe cleaner too. There we go. Okay, so for ribbons, I had used the moss green and natural rickrack, and continue those in the bow. And then we're also going to use some solid moss green and some red rickrack. And that'll round off the 4 1.5. And then for our fifth ribbon, we're going to use this moss green, red, and natural tricolor. So that's going to be the 2.5, and then we're going to use the four different 1.5 for this bow. So how I make my bows is I calculate how long I want my tails and loops, because each of the 5 ribbons will have 1 loop on one side and 2 tails on the other. So I need to figure out what I want my loops to be and my tails to be, and then I add 1 inch to that, and that's the length that we need to cut the ribbon. So I have not. I think we're gonna go 6 and 6. So 6-inch loop, 6-inch tails. So that's 12 inches, and then we will need to double that because there's 2 sides to the loop and 2 tails, and then we have to add 1 inch. I don't like those scissors. So we're going to cut our ribbon at 25 inches. Or maybe just a smidgen over. And we're just going to kind of leave this over here for Jeanette to clean up. Yeah, Sam, the pancake pixies, well, the pixies in general are really quick. The pancakes don't take a lot of material. 6 pieces and 6 pieces of mesh is all you need. I have used the 6-inch sign. I normally use 8-inch signs, and they both look fine on these. If I had to lean towards one or the other, I think maybe the 6-inch signs look a little better on these. personal opinion. Oh, she had masking tape on this. What in the world? So that's that's my trick with my bow. Um, I've done I've done Floyd bows with as little as 4 ribbons and as many as 7, and you can make the length on the ribbon that you're using pretty much anything. Like I said, you just need to figure out what you want to cut your ribbon at. You need to figure out what you want your loops and tails to be. And I've done, I think the biggest I went was 7-inch loops with 8-inch tails once. I normally keep the loops at 6, and generally the tails at 7 or 8. It's a pancake pixie, so we're going to try to go small. So we're going to go 6-inch loops, 6-inch tails. And then to figure out where you need to cut your ribbon, you just take 6 and 6 and add it together for 12, double it to make 24, and then you need to add 1 inch. Uh, I figure that's probably because of the twisting of the ribbon and everything to get it to go in there. And me and Jeanette both use the Deluxe bow maker. It's really the only. We're going to go ahead and dovetail these. That's really the only bow maker I've ever used. On occasion that we would use the bow dabber when you're putting it together to go inside the ties. Because I should have thought of this before I got everything out. Yeah, we're going to go ahead. We'll just go ahead and dovetail. And then when you put the bow on, if it gets to a point where it's covering something that you don't want it to cover, you can always cut the tails a little shorter if you need to. Yeah, the 8-inch sign covers quite a bit. Um, that's one of the reasons I didn't put any tails whatsoever on the inside ties on this wreath. Um, if I'd have went with a 6-inch sign, I probably would have went ahead and done the tails on the inside as well. But using an 8-inch sign, you're not going to see much of them anyway. So that is something that Jeanette has started doing on her bigger wreath as well. Is doing the ribbon tails on the outside of the wreath, and then not putting the ones on the inside in until after you're done with your bow and your sign, and seeing if you have any empty spots that need tails. I normally do, Kimber. These get done so quick. I got plenty of time, so I'm like, but yeah, I normally do. Or I may get in one of those moods and just not do the dovetails at all until after I'm done with the bow. Although that never ends well for me. Okay, so we're going to start with 6. We're going to scrunch that, give it a twist, and shove that down in there. And we're going to go with 6, scrunch that, and throw that in there. And we'll just spread these out as we go. And then on the next one, we will go the exact opposite direction. These are pretty simple bows. They don't take a lot of material. Um, like I said, you can make big ones, you can make small ones. They're very versatile. They're really simple, which is why I like them. Oh, welcome, Kimber. Glad to have you. It's not normally me. I'm not gonna lie. I am the hubby. I fill in when Jeanette is at work. It's normally Jeanette's thing, but we are a team. So now that my work schedule is back to somewhat normalcy, um, we had to get away from doing a lot of lives there for a while because neither one of us were home to do them. But now my work schedule is back to normal. Hers is not. She works retail, so her schedule will never be normal. All right. Well, I did not think that through. Shoot. Man, we're gonna do it this way. No, I don't do as fancy stuff as Jeanette does, but I can hold my own. Oh, Stacy. All right. Now we're down to our last ribbon for the bow. Your brother. I don't know if I'd say I have talent, but I can hold my own. All right. All right. Pause for a drink. Getting thirsty. All right. So now we have all five of our ribbons stuffed in the bow maker there. Now remember, we used the ribbon was cut to 25 inches, and that leaves us with 6-inch loops and 6-inch tails. So by the time I get done fluffing this bow, it's gonna look like a pom pom. Not literally. So I don't know what Jeanette did to her bow maker, but she has got those rods in there really, really tight. I like it. So I try to close the zip tie a good bit before I pull this up out of here. Kathy, you can go back and watch some of our older videos. This is pretty much the only bow I make. All right, let's get real. It's the only bow I make. But like I said, it's really simple. The only thing you have to watch out for is one, you don't forget to put your pipe cleaner in like I just did. Thank goodness I hadn't tightened it up too bad yet. Oh, maybe. Um, we'll get it in there. Fight with it. All right, there we go. And then the other thing I have to watch out for with the way I make my bows is that this top ribbon, if I'm not careful, it'll slide down over the side because of I'm assuming it's just the way I do them. And then I want to get that pipe cleaner down a little closer down there. Then tighten this up just a little bit more before I start yanking on it. All right, we should be good there. And then just fluff. Some people say to start at the top. Some people say to start at the bottom. It just varies. Sometimes I start at the top. Sometimes I start at the bottom. There's no rhyme or reason to how I do this. Get better grip on this thing because it's not. I just want to make sure before I tighten it down that there's no flipped mesh. Usually does that on the bottom for me. I don't know if any of you all have the same problem, same issues I have with it. But yeah, Kathy, these bows are really simple. I kind of took a mod podge of different ideas that I got off of different people and kind of put it all together and came up with this. It works for me. It's fun. It's easy. You can make them. You can modify it to make it however big or small that you need them. It's been a while since I made a bow, y'all. I'm struggling with this a little bit. All right, tighten that zip tie up, and we're going to go ahead and cut that off. And then we're going to fluff a little more. We're going to throw it in the wreath and then fluff it some more. Why I don't, other than try to get them spread out evenly, because I'm going to smash it, putting it in the wreath anyway. So I'm just going to have to redo it. All right, we'll get that out of our way. Oh, little trick that me and Jeanette, well, it was my idea. It was her idea to hot glue it. She was having trouble with her bow maker sliding around on her mat. So we got some of that. It's kind of like shelf liner, but it goes under the edge of carpets. It's not sticky, but it provides traction. And then she hot glued it. All right, so we're going to put our bow. We're going to turn this so the sign's down this way just a little bit. And then we're going to put the bow let's go right here, just below the dovetails. And like I said, these because of the thinness of the mesh, it's fairly easy to get the pipe cleaner down through. Yeah, I think we're going to go right there. Don't want to make it too tight, but you don't want it loose and flopping either. So let's get this wrapped around and tidied up just a little bit. I don't want to go too wild with straighten it out until I get everything on. See, flatten my bow. That's all right. We can fix that. So we're going to straighten out the ribbon tails. Try to V them out a little better, give them a show. I mangled this one. And it's just peeking out from under the sign. These, with where I put the bow, you're really not going to see them, but that's okay because they blend with the bow. I'm missing some loops. There we go. Well, if you all are like me, you can sit here and fiddle with this all night. Uh, so I wanted to keep the bow fairly small. It's still kind of thick. What am I stepping on some wire or something down there? So I mean, we can curl these and straighten these and pick at these and fluff and forever. So I think we're gonna call it right there. Needs a hanger put on it yet. Let me let me switch cameras here. Yeah, Kathy, I used to be bad for that too. I managed to get better with it with practice, and the boss lady scolding me. All right, let's switch our cameras back and hold this up so you guys can all get a gander at this. I'll probably put the hanger right about here so that the sign is at a little bit of an angle. And then the bow is off right. And that's normally where I put my signs and bows. About between 3 and 4 o'clock for the sign. Um, Usually it does a little bit of an angle. And then I put the bow at like 10 o'clock ish, between 10 and 11. The nice thing about these is if I hang it up on a hook and it doesn't look quite right, I can get more this way. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Kimber. Thanks, Deanne. I'm not gonna lie. I struggled with this a little bit. It's been quite some time since I made a wreath, but we'll be doing more of them now that my work schedule has been situated. So, all right, guys. So there it is. This will Jeanette's going to be going to the. She'll probably we'll have to put a hanger on it, and I don't know. This fabric mesh just isn't. Normally, I love fabric mesh, but this particular mesh, I'm not being a big fan of. To be quite honest with you, it's not it's not being its normal self. Well, thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. Uh, our normal schedule used to be Monday and Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Thank you, William. Now that now that my job is situated, and I will be back to a regular day shift schedule. Thank you, Kimber. I think we will probably go back to that. Um, whether you get me or Jeanette is really just going to depend on her schedule. We have started getting into some other things besides wreaths, so you may tune in when we may be doing some painting or uh, some other type crafts. So you never know what you're going to get with us. The pixie wreaths especially sell pretty good in our area. Um, I'm not sure if it's because of the price point, because it is a little bit lower price point because there's not as much material. And then we recently did a local craft show, and a lot of the comments that we were getting was, "Oh, now if you've never watched Jeanette's wreaths are huge, full thickness wise, and there's no way they're going to go between doors. But that was one of the comments that we got from several people at our local craft show was that they loved the wreaths. They were beautiful. They have a storm door. It's not going to go in between them. So we're probably going to start doing it at least to sell locally. I don't know if we're going to do them on the lives a whole lot, but we need to start doing more of the pancake style wreaths to try to sell in because we're in two shops locally, plus our online store. So I'm going to quit rambling now and let you guys get on with the rest of your evening. Thank you for stopping in and joining me. And we will be back Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Like I said, I don't remember what Jeanette's schedule is, so it might be me. Kimber, we're in Northeast Ohio in a little town called New Philadelphia. If you look at the map and you draw a triangle between Cleveland, well, it'd be backwards to you guys. Cleveland, Columbus, and Pittsburgh, we're pretty much smack dab right in the middle. So technically, they call it Northeast Ohio. I don't think it's that Northeast, but hey, whatever. Awesome. I know Jeanette's got some relatives in Tennessee, and I love that state. I'm about due to go back. So thank you all for joining me tonight. Thank you, Kimber, and a couple other new names that I don't recognize from in here. Glad you could join us tonight, and we will see you Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Thank you all. Have a good night.